everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who listens in the podcast. I want to say thank you to everybody who follows me on Spotify. And also, I didn't mean to forget to say this, but everybody who's listening using Pandora, thank you so much for doing so. I see the audience in Pandora is growing. Thank you so much. And everybody who's listening in from iHeartRadio, thank you so much everybody. It means a lot. It is September 23rd, Monday, 2024. I wanted to come here and make this video, guys, because as we all know, right, Sean P. Diddy Combs is currently in jail right now. And what had happened since the whole lawsuit with Cassie that happened in late December, I think it was last year, that everything basically was brought up to the surface, and then we saw how a lot of people, well, after he got arrested just recently, we have seen how many of these celebrities have been kind of falling out, right? Meaning they're trying to do some damage control, clear their names, disassociate themselves from, probably from him, from P. Diddy, and also kind of like clear out their old tweets, their old Instagram. This is the year of exposure. Everything will be brought up to the surface. And I think the example that we can get from P. Diddy, out of many other examples, I guess you can say, that we can learn from that is that there is a verse in the Bible, it just threw my mind now, but it talks about how you keep associating with bad people, it will corrupt your character. Okay, it says, do not be deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. That is the verse, 1 Corinthians 15:33. I just searched it real quick to tell you guys what I'm referring to. This is an example why you have to be so careful who you hang around with. I know the flesh is so weak, and we always, if we click with somebody, and if they're doing bad things, but our own flesh is almost like, man, they're such a good influential person, they can, they're famous, they receive me, right? And why not, right? It doesn't mean, it doesn't hurt anybody, I guess you can say. But when you know what's behind all of that, right? We have seen throughout these months that a lot of these people who walk around being a celebrity, they're not what they say they are, right? A lot of them are putting up a face, putting up a brand so that they can get followers and they can get brand deals and money and the big promotions. But behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes on, right? This is what I keep saying to you guys. You can't have, if you have children, young children looking up to people like Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all these big name celebrities that you don't know what they do behind closed doors, right? It's so crazy because regarding P. Diddy, I remember years ago watching it. They did some type of special about him when he was managing his brand, Sean Combs, right? And as you guys know, I'm a fashion designer, so I wanted to see how he was kind of I guess you can say, behind the scenes, but not really, because they're not going to show us who he is, right? They had to have the police going and get the detective going and get those tapes and all of that. But kind of to see the side of him that was kind of like the designer side. And I remember, I will never forget watching that special. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos before, where he's getting ready for New York Fashion Week, and he's dealing with, designers, and he's staying in New York. And, it was so crazy just kind of to see that side of him. He's mostly known for music, right? And then to see the fallout. This is the crazy thing. It's all these people with big money and power, they think that they're gonna get away with everything. They think that nobody's watching, right? The Bible says in Revelation, I give her time to repent. You have to, you have to pay attention. People think they're gonna get away with everything. That's the thing, especially people that have money, right? And we heard last year something about his name. This famous pastor's name was being mentioned a lot. It was brought up to the surface, right? I don't know if it was people close to P. Diddy who mentioned it, or when the Cassie lawsuit came out, but I think she mentioned him. But anyways, we all know that tdjakes is somehow involved in all of this. I'm not making anything up. This is stuff that is coming out to the surface for the past few months. And I told you guys in my previous video, I don't know, a few months ago, that I said I knew it was very odd to see how tdjakes was passing over the baton, I guess you can say, to his daughter Sarah in the whole ceremony that they did. I think it was before the beginning of the year, right? When you have built an empire like tdjakes has, you know, I'm not gonna bash, you know, the books and the ministry that he has done, but I think there's something within the flesh that keeps you pulling yourself to people that you shouldn't be associated with, right? Even if you get invited, you know, as a Christian, there are things that you need to say no to, right? Regardless, you know, how influential that person is. You know, there's another verse, you know, just thought about this, where Paul says, you know, let me see if I can get it for you. Something about everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial, right? You know, if he was invited many times to these big Diddy parties that we've been learning about lately, he could have, you know, okay, thanks for the invitation, but no thanks, because as a person of God, you know, here's the thing with that, right? This is why it's so shocking to hear that somehow in the craziness of P. Diddy and his fallout, a pastor like tdjakes, his name is coming up. Because people are going to say, oh no, he was just showing up to kind of like share the gospel to him. Like, there's other ways to do that, right? Especially when you know the track record about P. Diddy, and when you know that he's up to no good. It didn't take the video of Cassie to come out for people to say, oh yeah, he is a very bad person. We have known about this, I guess you can say, since 1999 when he was arrested with J-Lo or some type of shooting that happened in a nightclub in New York. P. Diddy has that type of reputation. He can be all talented, he probably put out a lot of hit records, great fashion lines and all of that, but there is another side of him, right? And we cannot be ignorant. When, you know, why, if you have a child, right, that comes to your house, comes back home and says, hey mom, I got invited to this party, and you see who invited him, and you're like, why are you getting invitation? You're gonna say, oh well, the crazy kids from the neighborhood, they want you to come over. You're gonna question, why are you even invited in the first place, right? Like, why would they even think that you should be their guest? There is something already that is pulling you over to that, right? So 1 Corinthians 10:23 is saying everything is permissible, but not everything beneficial, right? Everything is permissible, but not everything is edifying. You as a leader of a church like tdjakes is, a person who has years sharing the gospel, years in ministry, basically his whole family involved in it, there are things that you shouldn't be showing up to, right? But I think, like I said, the flesh is weak, and you know, and then they say, you know, Christians always assuming the worst. No, it's not. You know, like that you shouldn't be showing up to everything is available. That not everything is for you. Especially someone that you have to watch your testimony, right? It's so crazy. But speaking about that, right, about tdjakes, another pastor, which I came here and talked to you guys about not too long ago, about his church and how he was raising money to reopen his church from some type of hurricane or something that happened, and he couldn't wait for the insurance money. He wanted the church to raise the money. He's saying that he's going to support tdjakes no matter what. Pastor Keion Henderson expressed loyalty to tdjakes amid Diddy controversy, okay? Keion Henderson, that's the name of the pastor, founder and CEO of the Lighthouse Church and Ministry in Houston, Texas, has professed his underlying loyalty to tdjakes after the arrest of the music mogul, like I told you guys, Sean Diddy Combs. whom Jakes has been controversially linked because he says he has been quote unquote good to me, okay? In an interview with former National Football League quarterback Cam Newton that was released this past Saturday, Henderson argued that the public has a negative bias against Jakes. He even invoked a phrase from Vice President Bush. I'm not gonna say, but it says here, the 43-year-old pastor, Keion Henderson said, who has known Jakes for about 15 years, described his relationship with the 60-year-old who founded the Potter's House megachurch in Dallas as a father-son band that they have together, right? At a church conference in June, Henderson, who is married to Shawnee O'Neal, the ex-wife of former professional basketball player Shaquille O'Neal, publicly wept on Jake's shoulder. He was saying, "We got a father-son relationship going on, man. The amount of information that a man has poured into me, not just about the Bible. He was there when I closed my biggest real estate deal. He was there when I sold one of my tax company. He was there, I guess tdjakes and him has been friends for a long time. And that's awesome. We're not trying to divide anything. But real love is kind of like knowing that somebody has a problem or did something wrong and still be there for them. That's also real love, but also recognizing it. Don't be like scratching up the board and be like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Everything he does is fine. If after the investigation is done, because brace yourself, because Diddy is not just going down by himself. He's bringing along. It wasn't that he was making these parties just for himself. Diddy parties are known, I don't know all the details, but for what I hear is that he invites a lot of these big celebrities, right? It's almost like, I'm just thinking, man, some people don't like to do evil alone. Okay, evil never likes to be alone. They always like to gather other people, especially the people that have a reputation of being good. I'm just, that just came to my mind. But what you have seen is that it's almost like to make themselves feel better. A lot of people who are prone to do evil things, they like to pull to themselves people who have a good reputation, because they want to say, see, you're also evil. It's not like what people say about you. That's why you have to be so careful, right? Where you get invited to, what you say in jest to. Okay. Henderson said that several years ago that he did not know who his father was until he was 12. He said his mother told him that his father was a married pastor of the church. In an interview, he said he has always looked up to Pastor tdjakes. And he's saying that the relationship with Jakes, he said, filled the hole left by biological father. Of course, that's another thing. Let me tell you guys, I don't know what it is, but there's something off with that, because like I told you guys in a previous episode, you can research it. There are people that they know that you lack in something, right? Especially when you didn't grow up with a father or mother for whatever reason. And they know that there's a weakness there. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna try their best. If they have some type of problem, they're gonna try their best. Meaning like I told you guys, I think I did the analogy of people that work at the mall kiosks. They know who they're gonna reach out to. They can see 50 people passing by. If you get to look and have a chance to look at the people that work at the mall kiosks, I don't know if that's still happening now, but if you sit there and you kind of look, they don't approach everybody. It's almost like they're trying to read who looks like there is somebody who they can sell something to. The same things happen with predators. I'm not saying that this is happening here, but you have to look out for people like that. Predators, they know like who's missing something in their life. They know, you know, they know how to operate. That's something that you have to keep your eyes open to, because people are, they're smart. Like it's almost like everything that happened in the beginning in the garden. Like Satan spoke with the woman, right? So you have to think about that. So I'm just thinking, this just came to my mind too. Like Satan was there when it was just Adam, right? Think about it. He didn't make Adam sin first before even Eve came, right? So Satan was already there before Adam. But then he decided to do something when Eve came into the picture. So I don't know. That just came to my mind. I don't know what's happening, but all I'm saying that he can. I don't mean to make this video so long, but he can support the pastor. He knows. He knows that, like, his testimony and whatever. But I mean, I don't know. Like, just looking at the other pastor, Keion Henderson. I really hope there's nothing hidden about him right now, in the sense that, like, there might be some type. I mean, we all have weaknesses as human beings, but like, I hope, just looking at his photo now, Pastor Keion Henderson, I really hope that there isn't any type of hidden thing that he has been struggling with lately. Okay, and like I said, he can support tdjakes all he wants, but a person who truly loves you knows that you have a problem. I'm not saying that, nothing really has been coming out specifically regarding tdjakes and P. Diddy, right? There's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of things, but until you hear officially from the detective, then we can actually talk about it. It's so dangerous to just speak about rumors, because that's, doesn't make them true, right? So, and we need to be careful about slandering. But he can support him all he wants, but he also needs to be aware, because love can never take away knowledge. You have to know, like, you love your loved one. Some people, like, they have family members that, let's just say, they steal, right? And they can be like, I love my cousin, she's a great person, but don't leave your purse around her. Like, love will never take away knowledge. Your family knows who you are, right? So in this case, he can come out and show the support and all of that, and that's good for him if that makes him feel good or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, what's gonna really show what was tdjakes' weakness, is whatever comes out of after the investigation. Like I said, P. Diddy, he's not going down on his own. There was a lot of people associated with him. There's a lot of people that show up to those parties, and usually people show up because there's something that they're getting out of that. That's just plain and simple. Like, you can see many things and you can be like, oh, I'm a Christian, let me watch my testimony, let me get myself out of here. But tdjakes' name is coming up a lot to the surface, so hopefully, we'll see what this is all about. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, julissadesigns.com. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.